Would you like coffee this morning? There is rarely a morning out when this offer fails to bring joy to my heart. At home, the first thing I do in the morning is put on the coffee. Just the sound of the brewing perks me up. Often my soul does a little dance when the aroma of freshly ground beans starts to fill the kitchen. Coffee brings warmth and comfort to my life. Part ritual, part relationship, part hope. Having a cup in my hand feels as natural as holding a pencil. It stirs up memories and gratitude inside me. My grandmother Audrey introduced me to coffee. She would make me coffee milk in the morning before anyone else got up. I must have been 4 or 5 holding my current favorite stuffed companion and still sucking my thumb. I would pad sleepy-eyed into the kitchen where the kettle was simmering. The only light in the room was the one on the stove, and my grandmother would be sitting on a stool next to the counter sipping coffee. She would glide across the floor in green nylon slippers and fix me a little cup of coffee milk. Sweet and warm beyond compare. Sharing a little cup became our secret ritual. I thought it was my reward for waking up early. She would pull a chair close for me, and we would talk for a bit. I felt very grown up. Years later would find me in junior high sitting around a huge table in Alabama with my dad's family, observing the coffee ritual, but not participating yet. I wasn't old enough. My father's brothers and sisters need nothing more than a coffee pot for celebration. Okay, one of Grandma's caramel cakes helped a bit, but they would sit for hours with coffee, and with each other. I would take it all in, learning what coffee meant to them. Love, sharing, and connection. Coffee is an invitation. When someone invites you to get coffee, it isn't because he or she is thirsty. More likely, that person just wants to spend time with you. Coffee calls us out of hiding. In the midst of our busy lives, we still manage time for coffee. When someone puts on a pot of coffee, people come from everywhere. It draws us out of our usual hangouts into the center of activity. Coffee is also a universal welcome. It is readily available to all of us, rich or poor. Whichever country we live in or visit, whatever language we speak, we can always find a cup of coffee. I'm figuring I've had coffee in 48 of the 50 states, and in at least 15 different countries. The message is always the same. Here is a cup of friendship and warmth. You are welcome here. People who don't even like coffee usually enjoy the smell and/or experience of it. I have friends who don't drink coffee but never pass up an opportunity to get coffee together. Although they order hot chocolate or a smoothie or some other beverage, they want to embrace the invitation to get together and sit for a while. Coffee also offers a wake-up call. The coffee bean contains caffeine, a mild stimulant found naturally in the berries, and also found in tea and cocoa beans. In small to moderate amounts, caffeine can promote wakefulness and has been shown to increase brain activity, for short periods, not for life, unfortunately. Coffee can also produce feelings of well-being and greater awareness of one's surroundings. This makes sense to me, as I find I pay much closer attention when my eyes are open. However, I confess in college, with too many papers and not enough evening, coffee played a different role. I sought to prove that more of a good thing would be better. It wasn't. In fact, this bad experiment cured me of using coffee as a stimulant because it had such an awful effect on my central nervous system. Once I had heart palpitations and anxiety that lasted almost 24 hours. So rest assured, I'm not seeking to create coffee addicts. Besides, to take pleasure in coffee and benefit from all it has to offer, it must be savored, not merely consumed. But my favorite characteristic of coffee is the deep metaphor it holds for life. The process of making a cup of fresh brewed coffee has given me words and insight as to what has made a fresh brewed life for me, and what can make a fresh brewed life for anyone. The coffee part is fairly simple. A whole coffee bean goes into the fire, emerges richer and darker, is ground up into tiny pieces, and when hot water pours over those grinds, a magical aroma and flavor are released, and a remarkable drink is created. Because the life part is not quite as simple as the coffee part, we'll spend the rest of the book exploring how our lives can become fresh brewed. You're invited to begin stirring your soul to wake up the slumbering parts and throw out the 2-day-old stale stuff in the bottom of the glass carafe. This is not freeze-dried life like the Sanka your grandmother drank. We're after the real McCoy, authentic, energizing, stimulating, robust life.